Let's bring in Arthur Brooks, President Emeritus of the American Enterprise Institute. He's with Harvard and the Atlantic, and his latest book is Build the Life You Want, co-authored with Oprah Winfrey. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Steve. How are you?
We're all excited you're here today, but I'm going to start with the mundane, then Becky has some crazy stuff she wants to talk about.
Right on.
Okay, so let's start off with this disconnect.
Yeah.
The data looks pretty good. And you say that to people, and they're like, are you crazy? Now, there's the obvious explanation of, well, the inflation rate is high and the price level is high, hasn't come back down, my wages haven't kept. Does that explain the disconnect, you think?
Yeah. Have you ever been to an unhappy family that's rich? I bet you have. You know, people who are doing just fine, but everybody's unhappy.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is that your relative level of prosperity and the ups and downs of the paycheck have nothing to do with whether or not the family's going to be happy. This country has been seeing more and more people saying the country's on the wrong track. This has been going on for 20 years, and it's out of control right now. The truth is that we have leaders who are just unfailingly negative about the country. We have media that's talking down the country. It's all bad news all the time. People are grumpy about that, and so the result is that they can't even actually get through it to see some relatively good economic news. Look, what we need happier leaders. We need to make America happy again, is what we need, and that starts with leadership. You go into a company, you've done it, we've all done it. You go into a company, and you can see there's something wrong. You start with the leader, and usually the leader's a downer. That's where it starts, and that's what we've got in America today.
Sounds okay to me, but what I look at, I think about some of the prospects out there for solving our problems, and they look more intransigent or unsolvable.
Like what?
Tell people, like, we have $34 trillion worth of debt, and I'm sitting around a table with a bunch of people my age. They don't think they're getting Social Security.
Yeah.
They think that's a problem. You look at the prospects for the country's finances. You look at your own prospects for getting ahead in the world, and you feel like, well, maybe it's capped here. I don't know. The idea that there isn't, it's the expectations component. 'Cause, I've been doing this survey for 20 years almost, right? So what always happens is if the current assessment of the economy goes down, the expectations component goes up. That's not the case right now. That's why that thing is so high. That is pessimistic now and for the future.
Right.
Typically, those have worked in a somewhat inverse way. It's not happening anymore. People are down now, and they're down about the future.
Yeah, you had the right word, pessimism.
Right.
That's exactly the wrong quality for leaders to have. Pessimism is when you're a leader, your main job is to say, there's a better future. Do you see it? Do you see your part in it? Will you come with me? That's what leaders are born to do. And what do we have? We have leaders who don't speak with hope, who don't speak with the optimism. Look, and by the way, optimism is realism in this country. Let's not kid ourselves. People who say, the best years are behind us, that's crazy talk. This is the most prosperous, upwardly mobile country in the history of the world. We know perfectly this is a great country in our hearts. But at the same time, we have leaders who are talking it down, who are pessimistic, and everything is bad news all the time. You can't blame people.
Are the political returns to pessimism higher than the political returns?
Of course. Well, they're shorter term.
So you get paid better as a politician to talk trash about the future.
Hey, misery is good business. Misery is great business, I'm telling you.
Look, I think it's on sorry.
No, I was going to say, is there a generational component to this?
Well,
the leaders, what age they are. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be in the happiness trough, age-wise, demographically speaking, 53.
Nice. That's exactly the bottom.
There you go.
Here's
the bottom of what?
Good news coming.
the
generally speaking, 53 to 70
Why?
is the greatest increases in happiness that people actually feel.
But why are you at the trough at 53?
Well, what happens is, generally speaking, people think they're going to get happier from their early 20s all the way through because life is going to get better. Your dreams are going to come true. They mostly are. I mean, not entirely, but the whole point is that the things that you're working for are actually going to come true. The problem is those aren't the things that actually bring you day-to-day happiness.
That's
and so the result is
that
people actually have most people have a slight decline in happiness from the early 20s to the early 50s, and that's incredibly disappointing. Look, there's not that much enjoyment in having teenagers.
Too high.
What's that?
We set our expectations too high.
Yeah.
We have unrealistic expectations.
Everybody's optimistic about their own life, and it turns out that life is pretty complicated in your 30s and 40s. Now, when you get into your 50s, things kind of turn around. I have, my students are on average 28 years old, and I show them these data that on average your happiness is going to be declining a little bit from early 20s to early 50s, and it's going to turn around and go up. I say it's a kind of a bad news, good news story. The bad news is your happiness is declining. The good news is I'm getting happier.
I do think
you're consuming their happiness.
We have these unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
I think part of what plays into that are the things you see on Instagram, but it's the same thing we've been seeing in movies and on television and in magazines for so long, that life is going to be this idealistic, perfect thing.
Exactly
and it's
right.
not.
Yeah. No, we
suck
feel
it up.
like we should be happier than we are, and we look at other people who have their fake portraits up on social media and their ideal lives that's going on. The other thing is that we just don't have a good culture for dealing with unhappiness, which is part of a normal life. Back in the 60s, the hippies, used to say, if it feels good, do it, which is a great strategy for ruining your life for all kinds of reasons. But today, the mantra for a lot of young adults is basically, if it feels bad, make it stop.
Yeah.
If I'm suffering, you better treat it right now. You're broken if something's making you unhappy, and that's exactly wrong. One of the things that I do with my young adult children is I talk to them all the time about the sacredness of suffering, about the humanity that actually comes, the learning, the growth that actually comes from these negative emotions and how to manage these things. The real skill, the real reason that you're going to get happier over the next 15 years is because you know how to manage yourself now.
Arthur,
I'm not as dumb as I used to be.
Turn this around. Tell me if you're advising a presidential candidate right now.
Yeah.
What's the message you would be giving right now? Run the campaign for me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Make America happy again. Look, we need somebody who says our best years are ahead of us. Here's how we're going to get it. Here's the role that you're going to play. And I truly believe that we can actually get there, as opposed to the 3-week campaigns, the political highly glycemic messages of everybody's crummy and they want to hurt you and I'm your only savior. That stuff works in a very, very short run, and we go into these short-run cycles again and again and again and again. This plays kind of with the media, it plays with the political messaging, and is bad for us.
I mean, I think thinking about the last 30 or 40 years, Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama perhaps embodied that strategy best. Am I wrong about that?
Bill Clinton was great at that, too.
He was good at that, too.
Bill Clinton was exceptionally good at that. But look, Ronald Reagan coined the term Make America Great Again.
Morning in America.
He was in Detroit at the convention, and he was extolling the virtue of immigrants. Think about that. He was talking about how great immigrants are to remembering our spirit, that these are the people who show us who we truly are. That was what Make America Great Again was really about. That's an incredibly optimistic message.
I wonder if there's something a little more acute or cyclical about this period of years we've been in, though, because it seems like when you tell people, oh, we had stimulated the economy, we had the shortest recession ever, wealth has gone up, wages have gone up, even if it's outpaced inflation, this sense of disorder and big stuff out of my control that was happening to us, that even if we responded to it well, it didn't feel comfortable.
Right. Yeah, no, this is true. But this is the balance that national leaders, by the way, corporate leaders, family leaders, community leaders, there's a lot of stuff out there that we can be scared of. You need to direct people's attention to the things that we can control and the things that we can make better, and to help them see their role in actually getting us there. And that's exactly what leaders are not doing.
But also successes. I was thinking about the pandemic, both monetary and fiscal response.
Right.
I don't think you can tell the story of what was done unless you begin with the following. At the beginning of the pandemic, the debate was, would the unemployment rate be somewhat lower than, exactly at, or above the unemployment rate of the Great Depression? We avoided that.
Yeah.
Whatever story you tell about the post-pandemic period and the response, you need to begin with that part of the story. It was, at least up until the point where this inflation thing happened, it was a pretty good success. Also, by the way, you talk about the pandemic response to the health response. How many people were we thinking might have died, and how many people actually did?
I think the question might be, does our brain chemistry seize upon counterfactuals to make us happy?
Yeah, well, this is a communications point, and this is a really important point to make. You have approximately 7 seconds when you talk to somebody for the first time to make an impression.
7 seconds?
To frame your argument and to frame yourself. You have about 7 seconds. There's a part of the brain that actually decides who you are when you talk to somebody for the first time. Don't waste your 7 seconds. And so this is what politicians need to do when they get up in front of new audiences that might be hostile, for example. They say, I'm going to tell you some things tonight about what I believe. You might disagree with me, but you're not going to go away tonight thinking I don't love you and your family. That's the 7 seconds, because that's what they're going to remember. You get the point, right? You have to frame everything. And when politicians are talking about COVID or the economy or anything else, they need to frame it to say there's victory around this.
Corporations know this already.
Not enough CEOs are doing it.